Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I am going to be ranking every NFL head coach's vibe. For those who remember, I did this a couple months ago with quarterbacks, and I've actually had a couple people or the same person request me to do it with coaches a couple times now. And today seems like a good day to do something fun and kick back. Reminder that tomorrow I'm planning to play some OG Fortnite, so I hope you guys are excited for that. But before we hop right into today's video, don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. You can also use code WYATT10 to save yourself a discount on any Waggle merchandise. But that's all I got. Let's get into ranking NFL head coaches' vibes. Alright guys, so here we are at today's list, and just to run through it really quick, at the tip top, we're gonna have the coach that I get elite vibes from. Under that, we'll have the coaches I get cool vibes from. In the middle, we'll get the coaches that I get the weird / annoying / stupid vibes from. Towards the bottom, we'll have the coaches who I think are nice, but also a huge prick vibe. And bottoming, we got just a straight up asshole vibe. So without further ado, let's get started with Brandon Staley. Weird, annoying, dumb. Actually, all of the above. That category fits him perfectly. No part of this man screams somebody that I would like to hang out with, like at all. Like, he just seems like everything I don't like. He's one of those people that thinks he's smarter by using a big vocabulary, but people can see right through the shit. Moving on, we got Kyle Shanahan. Seems pretty cool to me, I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't seem elite, but he seems pretty laid back and just chill. Brian Daboll, elite. Seems like if you're on his good side, he would be like the coolest guy in the world to hang out with, but if you pissed him off, you would not want to be anywhere near him. And that could be nice, but also a huge prick. However, I do not believe he is a prick unless you insinuate it out of him. Like, I think he is just genuinely an elite human being. Moving on, we got Matt LaFleur. I think he's dumb. Get a lot of dumb vibes out of a guy who says the definition of insanity is going out there and doing the same thing and expecting different results, and then continues to go out there and do the same thing and expect different results. Dan Campbell, elite. This guy gives off the vibes of everybody's childhood friend who was extremely nice, but also just a freak of fucking nature. Feel like we all knew someone like that. Moving on, we got D'Amico Ryans. Cool. I'm not in the elite category with him yet because he's still so fresh, but every single time I see an interview of him, I just think, cool. Doesn't ever seem to overreact, doesn't seem to over-exaggerate, head always appears to be on straight, you know, just a chill human. All right, moving on, we got Dennis Allen, and trust me, we'll be getting to the bottom part of this tier list, but we're still not there yet, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate this guy as a coach, but every time I watch his interviews and whatnot and hear him talk, he seems like a pretty normal, like, cool guy. Answers questions extremely well, doesn't get frustrated, is always very calm, he takes accountability for himself too. It's just like, I don't mind him. Moving on, we got Doug Peterson. People might disagree with this, but I've always had the impression that he is a great head coach, but he is a straight up asshole. Now, part of the reason I do think this is because of what happened when he left Philly, because I still don't know if he was fired or if he quit, but it sounds like he just wasn't willing to listen to anybody but himself, and the team wasn't going in a good direction, so he was just like, fuck it. But even in his post-game meetings now, win or loss, he carries that swagger on him of just, I've won a Super Bowl and I'm up here, I'm better than you guys. I don't know, I just think he's a dick. Up next, we got Frank Reich. I think he's just stupid. Nice guy, I think he's just really, really dumb though. I used to like him as a head coach right when he went to the Colts, and now I can't really stand him. It just doesn't seem to have any direction of what to do with that team right now. Moving on, we got Nick Sirianni. Asshole. He gives off every asshole vibe I could ever have. He seems cocky, he seems arrogant, and it could just be the tone in his voice, but he always just sounds annoyed to me. John Harbaugh. Nice, but huge prick vibes. And that's just the vibe I get. I don't have any reasons to say it. Like, he seems like a nice guy, but he also seems like the guy that as soon as you get behind a closed door, he's just a completely different person. Like, he seems like the kind of dad where his young kid could make a joke about him and his friend would laugh, and he would laugh at it like it's funny, and then the second you get in the car, he fucking screams at you. Don't you ever embarrass me! All right, moving on, we got Jonathan Gannon. Straight up weirdo. No other way to say it, man. Straight up weirdo. Might not be a bad head coach though. Now we got Josh McDaniels, but we're not going to talk about him because obviously he's an asshole. But they have a new head coach who seems very cool to me. Antonio Pierce. Now I will say it's going to go one of two ways with him though. He's either going to move up to elite or he's going to go down to asshole. We're just going to have to see what happens when the team doesn't perform well. Up next we got Kevin O'Connell. Definitely seems cool, but he also seems kind of like a huge pushover. He'd be the guy that throws like a small house party for like 8 friends and then there would end up being like 50 people there because he just just could not say no. Moving on, we got Kevin Stefanski. I get nice but prick vibes out of him as well. When he talks, he seems very cool. But you just know that behind the scenes, this guy has had a lot of say in certain decisions that have been made. And it seems like he can be kind of two-faced. You know, as soon as he gets off the podium, he's rolling his eyes saying, you know, fuck those reporters. Moving on, we got Arthur Smith. He's an asshole. Doesn't get really bigger of an asshole than him. This guy does not use his best players, and then when he's asked about it, he gets pissed off at the reporters because he doesn't want to answer it. Also doesn't care about the overall happiness of the fan base of the team. I mean, to be honest, this guy is just a straight up fucking narcissist. Moving on, we got Bill Belichick. I think we're all gonna put him in the nice but huge prick vibes. I think we've all seen one side of Bill and the other side of Bill. Catch Bill in a non-football related thing, I guarantee you he's a top 10 human being to have a beer with. Catch Bill in win or loss mode when football is in season. It seems like that guy does not care if you drop dead right in front of him. And now we got Matt Eberfluss. Weird, and I mean as weird as they come. Weird. What was he saying last week? Got some stuff up the sleeve. Just a weird guy. Moving on, we got Mike Vrabel, and he's actually the reason that nice but a huge prick exists. That is what I've always thought of him. Like, he seems like a nice guy, seems like he'd be a nice dad, but the way he answers questions and talks to people and the constant look on his face, he just looks like a fucking asshole at the same time. Moving on, we got Mike McCarthy. Nice but prick. I did not like him in Hard Knocks when I watched him, man. All he talked about is his ring. That's it. It's just what he mentioned every chance he got. Seemed really arrogant and full of himself. Now we got Mike McDaniel, apparently a fucking comedian, how ESPN acts about him. They'll just tweet every time he makes a joke with 1,000 laughing emojis as if it's not some cringe dad joke. I think he's cool, but I also think he tries way too hard at any moment to make the room laugh, and it kind of just comes off as annoying. And I know I might sound like a generational hater, but that's just my honest thoughts. Up next, we got Mike Tomlin, elite vibes. Always been a Mike Tomlin guy, man. He's just straight cutthroat to the bone, but he's not a complete dick about it. He's also funny too, like he's actually just naturally hilarious. Andy Reid, asshole. Do I think he's a fantastic coach? Absolutely. Do I have a ton of respect? Absolutely. But do I think he is an asshole? Absolutely. I've heard this guy doesn't even talk to his players until they've earned the right. Basically sounds like if you're at the Chiefs, it's a dictatorship and he's the guy who runs it, but you've got to prove your worth to get him to even notice you. Now we've got Pete Carroll. Never had a problem with Pete's personality. I mean, yeah, he can be a little snappy at times too, but more times than none, he seems to be pretty relaxed, pretty jolly. Robert Saleh, nice, but he's a prick. I think he whines on the sideline a lot, and his loyalty to Zach Wilson's a little bit absurd, like Zach might have dirt on him or something. Ron Rivera. I actually think Ron is a really good person. I just think he's dumb. I mean, it could be the fact that last year he forgot that they were playing to go to the playoffs, or the fact that he hasn't done anything with Washington in the 4 years they've been there. Sugar Sean. I'm gonna be honest, I have yet to see an instance where I really think he's a dick, but I also don't really think he's a cool guy. He doesn't seem, and I'm not saying that to hate on my own coach, but he just doesn't seem like a chill, fun dude. He seems like a pretty serious guy who has had 7 years to make the Bills Super Bowl champions, and not only has he failed to do it, but we are getting further away. So I guess the correct word right now would be sadly a little bit dumb. Or annoying. Maybe annoying would work. All right, moving on, we got Sean McVay. Elite. He seems like he would be my best friend. He has a very calm, cool personality. Seems to have a great sense of humor. He's always laughing and making jokes about shit. Even after a loss, you'll see him do it sometimes. I just think he'd be a fantastic coach to have, and anybody can get along with him. Sean Payton. The definition of an asshole. Straight up dickhead. Always has been, always will be. Just like Andy Reid, I have a lot of respect for him as a coach, but I think he's an absolute ass. Shane Steichen. Seems pretty cool, not gonna lie. I mean, every time I've seen him, at least I have no reason to think anything other. I've also only heard him say about 4 sentences in my life, but hey, it counts. Up next, we got Todd Bowles. Weird because I get really big Leslie Frazier vibes from him, and that's the vibes that he just doesn't give a shit, and he never has. Hey Todd, you just lost by 46 points and Mike Evans broke his neck. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, we gotta play better football out there, and as far as Mike goes, I'll send him a card, but I think he'll walk it off. And now we've got Zach Taylor, and I actually think he's cool just because of how he has responded to all the criticism that was around him for the first 2 seasons that he was head coach to, you know, recently when they've been a really good team. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be me ranking every single head coach's vibe. Really hope you guys liked this video and had fun with it and didn't take it too serious. But with everything I just said, I'm going to get this edited so you guys can watch it on time, show any support. You know I appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.